foot baseball. We mean people are breaking bones and throwing blood. Real. That kind of. I'm not implying, but anyway, I did. Oh, you notice I didn't say which force I haven't seen. They're not wrong or right, and they're not wrong or right. They're not taking a stand, judgment. And making that kind of judgment about who's right or wrong. They're just these two opposing. I forgot opposing. Two opposing forces are arguing over this text. Humans. Or it could be Star Wars. And I won't. Okay. But which one's right or wrong? Neither one. They're just two opposing forces. I won't participate. Here's my stance. I'm not getting into it. I won't oppose. And then I'll give you something else, because Paul Tillich talks about forever from the past to the future. There's no past. Forever, both sides of that. It never always was life, being, existence. All those English words. I'm breathing. We heard the car. All that energy is forever coming and forever. It merges in the now, People fight over the object, their definitions, lexicon, their semantics. It's all it's got. It's got. Well, that's not. You can't name it. So it's like it's beyond. It's like beyond language, man. It's something finally, it's beyond language. It doesn't. I'm not saying you can't. You can do whatever you want, but you can't really name it. That's really. I'm saying it like you can't do this. That's what they're doing. Yeah, they're too opposing. Exactly. There's a good. Yeah, and I need to clarify. I'm not going. There's two. That's why it's live. The thing I could go. You can't do this. I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying, really, man, you're not doing it. I'm not doing it. Naming it, because it's beyond that. It transcends that. It's an equate. In your guru or your teacher, your rabbi, the great witch. That's the source of life is the witch. But that's not a name, it's a designation, like source of life, witch, rabbi. I'll name it Deanne. No, D. Oh, D, she's got this thing, man. What is that thing?
I'm recording you for great Bodhisattva action.
Oh, here she goes.
If there's any source
but
of life,
only I'm calling you Scotty.
Yeah,
Sattva.
and there are other ones we call stars too.
Yeah.
But that's our closest one.
they're all connected, and one can't exist without the other.
I was telling, we were talking about.
It's all interdependent.
Yes. And then there's what we call gravity, and it moves, and it's circular. They know that. That what we can see and what we know through it's moving in this circular thing. It's all interconnected. That's science. They're not arguing. Fred was talking about his telescope. He was telling us, in a microscope you can look in the molecule. Oh my God! Or look out. Oh yeah, and they're what we call stars, and our sun too. And if it novas, it doesn't matter if ours does. If one of those bigger ones will suck the whole planetary thing will go into. I was showing Fred this.
I have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
If people are fully enlightened, do you believe they can escape the grasp of negative karma?
Okay, let me ponder. I don't believe it's a belief system. All belief systems are a waste of my time. I only speak for myself because it's not a belief system. People could call you a witch or a Christian or a Hindu or a Buddhist, but that isn't what it is. But you do, even if it's not what people call anonymous. Here's something that grabbed I thought it was profound. There is no autonomous theoretical foundation. That theoretical, words, definitions, lexicon, semantics get in there. It has now if we're using that stuff to commune and we're gone, it doesn't exist. But non-existence is cool, but it doesn't. We come back and start doing it again. But if nobody's there using it, it's non-existent until people use it again. If there's no foundation in it, I am the mountain. The mountains go back into the sea. It's like, he says, Bob Dylan, a Gemini, my Gemini buddy here, not this one. Bob Dylan goes, For I know the evening's empires have returned into sand, vanished from. He's talking about sand, empire. Yeah, it all goes back to sand, dust, cosmic dust in that article. It was in Smithsonian, talking about microscopes and the things they've got out there, and they look at all this, and they can see black holes now. We're not going to be dogmatic. We know they're there. Now, these huge things that you can't see because there's so much of what they'll call it a magnetic force, light can't escape. That's awesome. For this Earth being the yang, not persuasion, but I'm born yang, man. I'm embodied.
Tell us about certain groups that expect you to mirror their image and their beliefs.
The best I can do with that is not participate. They're power forces and a power force, and they have an object. Their beliefs. And I can choose to.
The object being a whole.
Whatever they're preaching, 12 steps, 10 commandments, purity, funkiness, bad, good. I'm bad. A lot of times, yeah, bad. No laughing. No, I don't. Yeah, I wasn't even being funny. You know, where I'm at now, I can see Wi-Fi. Either work. And then you get what happened to Eileen. And I didn't break her anonymity because there was more. I could see in myself that I would melt down. It's not just about. Eileen was great with the sweeping and swabbing and taking garbage out, but you got to do more than that. Well, hell, I can. Jen's pregnant. She can. Yeah. No, I don't. You got to have the right. You got to have charisma. It's your. People try to do shit they're not meant for, and I could find that out the hard way, or do the math and say, yeah, I'm more like Eileen than I'm like Jen, or Dana. Hell, Fred ain't as much in this area sometimes. Ain't his age. No, seriously, man. Rick does all right, and those other guys. Yeah, you know what I mean, Jen. It's not right or wrong. It's just some people aren't. I don't know amount of cocaine or drugs can get you and I to play basketball like Will Chamberlain. I'm sorry, or Pete Rose baseball. It's just you got you've got mechanics and computers. Plus, this stuff doesn't. I'm judging not morally.
Scotty, if you were going to give any advice to the listeners out there today, what would it be for the day?
Oh, jeez, Deanne's really doing this, isn't she? I don't have advice. Advice is like assholes. Everybody has them. Advice is like belly buttons. Everybody has some. No, I don't know, man. Here's a cliche: follow your bliss. I used to hate that. Life ain't bliss, man. It's sometimes boredom, frustration, pain. And then there's bliss, happiness, but it's not one. Yesterday I heard a gal that I like. She's back in now. She had 13 years old. This time I want serenity. She was saying how she's going to work the steps, get us and do it because she wants. But it ain't serenity. I don't know how she's interpreting serenity. Guys do, men do this to males. Yeah, but it isn't going to be. What do you mean by serenity? Well, feel good all the time? No, man. That's why I drank vodka and tequila and and other. Because I wanted to feel serene all the time. I had to give that up. I had to surrender that.
Did you lean into it?
Man, sometimes I complain and bitched and moaned. That's Oscar gave it. Lean into it, bro. He did. I mean, I heard that before, but I really heard it with you, and I started saying it. It's true, too. Yeah, I feel like shit. I'm really down. I hate life. I hate my life. But I'm going to have to lean into it because it's my life.
What does Pima Chodron say about leaning into things?
That's what she says, but I heard it from Oscar. She takes it a little more words, more paragraphs. Oscar's that pith instruction. Lean into it. She'll go on.
Any thoughts on Pima Chodron?
Yeah, she's a grandmother. She was twice married and divorced. I know that's a historical. I like her. I think she's very authentic and sincere. She's a little culturally different, I think. She's a school teacher. I know that. And she doesn't trap. She's very. I like her. I feel good about her. I can see the Buddha nature in her.
What do you think about the ego trappings of society?
Listen to this. What do you think, Eric? Katie Couric? I think cool. No, Katie Couric. Or who's the other one? Who's the one that?
Katie Couric.
Yeah, I get it wrong. Who's the one that?
That's okay.
No, it's cool. You're good at it. Deanne's got you. Deanne's the Buddha. And so is Jen. That's what it's saying to me. We're all Christ. We're not Jesus. Jesus is saying we're all the Buddha, the Christ, the children of God. But there ain't. The source of life is That ain't a name. It's a designation. Yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm glad I could give you that, Jim. That's a good little. Yeah. Um, yeah. It's just like. But it's okay to say good or. But I don't care what people do. I say the source of life. That's what my little personal discipline. My little bit of taking a stance. Not into it. Just no. I'm not going to be your sponsor. No, you know. Come on over here and do what we're doing right now. It's spontaneous. It's all you find it, but I'm not going to get all this formula, format, form. AA is a form, Christianity, and but they're empty, dude. They have no autonomous. I'm not talking to this guy. I just am a strong man. Okay, you don't understand. I'm a high school guy. You are, yeah. I don't know why I understand this stuff, but I'm a readaholic. And then I'm a thinkaholic and a ponderer. Meditation, I have to say non-meditation. Because you don't have to sit. My friend Deanne told me about this person that used to sit zazen. I'm not talking about the Japanese people. I'm talking Boomer Buddhisms. They're going to sit all, you know, they're going to sit very correctly, you know, with all their attachment. I've done this too. And then they go around with sticks and hit guys' phones. Just tap them on the shoulder. And this guy's melted down. He probably has the Tories. Get the hell out of there. I mean, I don't have to, there's nothing wrong with that. Just, I went in the Marine Corps when I was 17. And I tried to, I sat Zazen officially. And then I did it on my own. And I went, wait a minute.
Tell us about your experience with Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, and how was that meeting him? What did you think about that experience?
I really liked him. I really felt his energy. And then I know it. If they, okay,
do you
they
think
call him Crazy Wisdom Guru? I call him. I gave him the name. He's a Tibetan Elvis. I call him Chogyam Mukpo Buddha, or I call him Trungpa Mukpo Buddha. Mukpo is his name before he. That's his family name.
Do you think he culturally changed the face of Buddhism?
Yes, I definitely do, and he wasn't a no ego trip for him, but he's historically like a very profound historic figure. And I'll tell you, I'll give you another opinion. He would not be accepted today. They'd have a real no. They wouldn't even let him into the university he founded for Tail of the Tiger might in Snowmass. No, excuse me, in where Cody was born, a young guy. You know. What's the name of the place in Colorado?
Carmacholing. Naropa.
Naropa, that's it. It's gotten very Ken and Barbie-ish, you know, white bread,
Boomer
college,
Buddhism.
boomer Buddhism, man. And there are all these white kids, like Irish like me, Scotch-Irish, Anglo, German Americans. Oh, you know, and he used to just like smoke Marlboros and drink sake. And then he quit smoking Marlboros and everybody stops. And then, I don't know if he quit smoking. Yeah, Trungpa blew their mind. They call him a crazy wisdom guru. You know, I met him once. And then I went in a hurry. I sat with other people and listened to him, but I just met him once. He was, well, this guy's, I'll tell you somebody that when I met, he's got that energy too, is Silas. Silas is half Japanese and half African American. Silas has got that energy. They remind me of I know Silas is a Taurus dude, 51, he's in his early 50s. Now I've known Silas well. He has that energy, and he's an African American dude with eyes like a Japanese person. He looks just like and you meet his mother's Japanese. His dad was African American, and their energy reminds me of, so to speak, a bit, you know, the way Oscar reminds me of a monkish person. He's very much, he's got his big boy. They say, you know, my big girl pants. Well, Oscar's a young man. He doesn't act infantile. He doesn't, man. He's
you don't live with him though.
Yeah, well, you're his lover, his best friend, his roommate, his mommy, and sometimes, and he's your dad now. That's cool. None of that's wrong or infantile either. I can't handle the domesticity of our culture. In my own assholishness, I put women inadvertently in a role of, oh, my old lady or my special. my wife, and oh, will you make the coffee? Did you get this? Did you go? I don't want to even be tempted because I hate the double standard and the patriarchy. I hate they make the feminine mystique. Women are just women, man. The mystique's an act. The dudes aren't all this hacho macho. That's an act, a mystique too, and that's the Ken and Barbie world, more genteel maybe.